I'm on the boat. I am back in the boat. So happy. Hunting season is winding down here in Kentucky. Fishing season is right there. I can see it, I can hear it, and I can feel it. Sorry, I'm in a mood today. I'm just happy. I get to mess with all my stuff. Respooling my rods, organize and tackle, which I do about 100 times in a season. Just gives me a reason to get in the boat. And it just made me think of something that I wanted to share. I don't know if you guys know it or not. I just throw it out there. Here in Kentucky, this is all in my personal experience on my lakes that I like to fish here. Lake Cumberland is my favorite lake. It has a lot of rocks in it. And it has a lot of smallmouth in it. I love smallmouth fishing. That is my favorite thing to do. That's why I go freeze my butt off every spring, is to get on those big smallmouth. Now, smallmouth are sight feeders. They want to see it. So if they can see your line in that clear water this time of year, you're not going to get near as many bites as you would if you were throwing a different type of line. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people that fish this lake, Lake Cumberland in Kentucky, they throw braid. They use a lot of braided line because of the amount of brush and trees and rock in this lake. This time of year, I switch everything up, and I put fluorocarbon on my jig rods, on my swim bait rods, on my A-rig rod, on everything. That would sometimes have braid. And my swim bait rods and stuff like that, I usually have fluoro on all year long. But my jig rods and the A-rig rod, a lot of people will keep braid on them in the early spring. I switch it all to fluorocarbon because of the fact that those fish can see that. Now, throughout the year, as the water warms up, largemouth is going to be your main target fish because the smallmouth move pretty deep. And I was born a largemouth guy, so I love chasing them when the water temperature gets up above 60 degrees. Or when it hits that 60-degree mark. I pretty much switch it all up in my head and try to go for largemouth. But this time of year, it's all about the smallmouth. And the smallmouth can see everything. So in this real clear water we have on Cumberland in the early season, I always throw fluorocarbon on everything just because they just can't see it as well. Now, I've done some experimenting on the lake a lot over the last couple of years, and I found out that if I throw anything heavier than 20-pound fluorocarbon, I might as well throw braid. And the reason I say that is because I used to fish with braid all the time on a jig rod. I would never switch it. I just left it on because I was throwing in some gnarly stuff. I was fishing in chunk rock. I'd hook a fish, they'd run, behind a rock or something. I'd have to pull them back around, or I'd have to go up there to them. And it would just be a mess if I was throwing fluorocarbon, I thought. So I know how many fish I would catch on a day-to-day basis based on the water clarity, the temperature, the weather, stuff like that. When I made the switch years ago to start throwing fluorocarbon, that's when the bites started going up. And I started catching a lot more fish because they couldn't see that line as well. So it made me wonder, where's that limit? Because we always, as fishermen, we always want that extra sense of security to say that, okay, if I hook this fish in here, I can get them out. So throwing fluorocarbon up underneath a dock in some rocks gets you a little nervous, So if you could have braid, I will use it just because, like I said, that extra added security to know that I can get that fish out of there. So I did an experiment with fluorocarbon, and I took 2 rods rigged exactly the same, and I put 25-pound fluoro on one and 20-pound on the other one. I fished 2 days, one with the 20 and one with the 25, and I caught a lot more fish with the 20 than I did on the 25. The amount of fish I caught on the 25 was very similar to what I catch on braid. Now, if you put 20 and 25 next to each other, they're not that different. They don't even look different. They don't look any thicker than the 20. Something, I don't know what it is, but something is different about it. The fish can see it or they can feel it, something. I don't know. So I just throw 20. That's, I mean, jigs and everything. It's just what I get more bites on. And like I said, that's why I said this is a personal thing. It's just what I've experienced. Your lake could be completely different. Your experiences could be completely different. I just figured I would share. I believe that was what I wanted to throw out there. I don't remember anything else that I wanted to say. So, just excited to be back in the boat. My head is everywhere. I'm going through everything. But yeah, so I keep 2 rods, one with braid, one with fluoro on it, rigged exactly the same in the boat. Water clarity, if it's dirtier, dingy, dirty, this is what I wanted to say. I remember. If the water's dirty, I'll throw a braided line. Because the closer to the rocks you can get, the better on Lake Cumberland anyway. Like I said, personal thing. So if I can get away with throwing braid, I will. But if the water is clear, I'll throw fluorocarbon. When going after smallmouth, largemouth, usually more of a later spring, or kind of like a spring fish. Like I said, water gets above 54, 55 degrees, then you can start trying to chase them down easier. But those fish, their metabolism is so high when the water starts warming up that it doesn't matter. I feel like you could throw a rope out there with a jig on it and they bite it. Just, they see it moving, it looks good, they're going to eat it. And that's just the way my experience has been with largemouth. So, just a little something to throw out there. You guys can take it or leave it. Doesn't bother me. I just wanted to share it. I'm just all giddy and excited to be back on the boat and get ready to get back on the water. I'm hoping to get some real good footage this year for you guys. Try to set something up back here. I had a buddy set one up on his power pole. He set a GoPro on it. He took off down the lake running. He got up there, he dropped his trolling motor, and he looked back to hit the button on it to start recording. It was gone. So, still trying to work out a plan on where to put that camera. Plus, I'll probably have somebody with me in the boat, so I don't want to be in their way by putting it right there. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like I said, I'm going to get some good footage this year for you guys. That was my plan to do for hunting, but I just can't get my stuff to work right when it gets real cold out there and it's rainy and just nasty. Either that or I forget my batteries. That's happened. So anyway, there's my tip for the day for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And get ready for all these fishing videos, because as I go through the boat, I'm going to think of more stuff that I want to share. So, hit the little bell button down there. That way you know when I post something else, if you're interested in fishing, which you should be, because it's fun, and you'll love it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to cleaning this boat up and fixing rods. So we'll see you guys.